Good evening. Welcome to the live Facebook. It's the 14th of June 2023. Thank you for those of you who are with us, and I really appreciate all the support that you have. And this is also part and parcel of the series that we've been doing since way back in February, some of the stocks that we talk about in here. And I do hope that you have benefited from some of my guidance as well as things that I've talked about in the last 3 months, especially those of you who have supported us through the Smart Robie apps as well as the VSA 360. We thank you for your business, and we do see this market has a lot of potential going forward. Now, good evening, Kat Nora. Thank you for coming. And again, it is a continuation what I believe in the market, and a lot of these are my opinion, and also taking a look at some of the experts out there evaluating whether those make sense or not. And of course, at the end of it, whether what I've said tonight make a lot of sense to you, and whether this will take you to another level in here. And that seems to be interesting to see. Now, of course, tonight's talk, a very good evening to all of you who is coming in here. So I try to finish this by 40 minutes in here. Don't fear the bull market, all right? Why stocks are hitting higher. Now, of course, many of you will probably be saying this is you, Martin, referring to the US context in here. In some ways, I do think we will have a little bit of rally, more likely in something I talk about on TikTok this evening. Make sure you check out my TikTok handler, trade_VSA in here, and you can find me some of my comments I have on the live Facebooks and Instagram. But overall, I'm going to be continuing from the last Wednesday talk. You have not seen some of the talk last Wednesday, please check it out. I like Kevin. Kevin's only have one stock only. A-Health, come on, you can do better than that. A-Health, if you have that one, if it's continuing to do earnings, just keep it in there, all right? When the technology rally, I don't believe A-Health is exposed to that. That's more for it in here. I think partly if you really want to get more kick out of it, I suppose you can sell some of your A-Health and move it on to technology stocks and much of it in here. I suppose that's why we come and learn from people who share, like myself in here and many gurus out there. Look at the facts. I mean, if you're just going to stick to a particular stock, so if you're just going to be buying Nestle in here, will Nestle be bullish? You know, that is unless the market overall is bullish. But as I said before, the KLSE, it's not bullish. What is really bullish right now is the US market. Let's take a look at what we have for you in here. So tonight's sharing is why the US market is bullish ahead in here. I will present you the facts, looking at the past history, looking back even the last 60 years of the US market, where are the few, and why we as human are very fearful of anything that is been, I suppose, bullish in here. Maybe it's just the lack of skill and knowledge, and hopefully by the time you listen to some of my talk, at least it would put you in the right frame of why with the education that we talk about, and why we recommend this VSA method on a bull market with a low risk, good reward. I suppose this is something. Another one, Kevin, very funny. DKSH, that is again a retail stocks. It's not so much of a bull market stock. You really keep me going in there, all right? So remember, the market in here are referring some of those sectors that I will talk about here. Take some time to understand the particular sector of the company where you are involved in here. If not, I believe, Kevin, you can check out our 10-day free trial and see what VSA 360 can help you in here, and also where are all these trading opportunity for buying dips. I think last Wednesday we have seen some of those stocks in here, and I've talked about buying on dips, which is actually a good low risk, good reward in here. But that VSA method, and let me tell you that it's actually no other than our famous methodology used by our senior trainer Zach on NS No Supply. All right, so that's the in here. And of course, this coming Friday, my good friend, also one of my students, Chef Saham, will be hosting this live FB. So you can see this Wednesday I've been very busy. We had our members orientation training yesterday, and tonight the live Facebook with the public, and then this Friday with Chef Saham students and his follower on live Facebook on Pentagon Guider with intraday. This will be done in Bursa, Malaysia. Okay, so you probably dengar saya cakap dalam bahasa Malaysia lah. Banyak broken bahasa Malaysia, broken Malay, but let's see how we can do with that and have a little bit of fun too in here. Now, of course, last week we talked about some of the chart AI sectors in here, and again, remember we are talking about buying on bullishness in here. Now, some of these stocks, if you look into it, let me just make it a bit smaller so you can see from here. C3 AMD, okay, C3 AMD, C3 will be AI stocks, and that was last 7th of June, which is here. Yep, it did poke its head higher, up 14% in here. So this was actually a good buy and hold in here. Let's take a look at AMD. All right, that was from last week also, on the 7th of June in here, which is a Wednesday. Yeah, it did go higher too. You can see from here. Let me just bring it up and move it from, let's say, depending on the opening here to here. Yep, went up almost as high as 12% in here. Let's take a look at Google. Okay, Google will be now Google will be Alphabet. Okay, Google will be Alphabet, and Alphabet, yes, here Alphabet was last week was the 7th. It had a red Pentagon. Okay, so that was a sell-off in here, but since then it's been holding up in here. So this could be a chance for buying a dip. Let's take a look at MSFT, which is Microsoft, right? We were talking about it here, and it came down on the 7th. It sold down and then rebounded back very nicely here. If we pull it up to the high, was about 4%. And then let's look at Nvidia. But remember, some of this technology stock has already hit high, and right now it's pulling back. But look at Nvidia. After on the 7th, when we talk about that night, it pulled out, right? It actually turned back green Pentagon on Tuesday. So isn't that great if you have this VSA 360 as part of in here? Or maybe you can use the smart Robie apps also to check out the green Pentagon that we have in here. So a little bit of update, and at least I feel good. Some of the stocks that we talked about from last week did rebounded in here, and you have to ensure that. And also we did talk about EV, electric vehicle, and how much was the big growth in here. And let's take a look. These are still some of the EV stocks. Okay, I think I have EV was US and EV stocks. Definitely one of them was BYD. All right, BYD, I think this is on China. All right, BYD and Li Auto. Okay, so BYD will switch to the Hong Kong stocks. We have to go over to HK. Okay, then I can find it right there. So where was that? Yep, there you go. Hong Kong is BYD, and you can see 1211. And on the 7th, let me see. Yep, 767. Yes, the market did go higher to 251 to 283. Let's talk about Li Auto. Okay, this was another one of the stocks, 2015. Oh, very nice one. Li Auto, we talked about on the 7th, which up here came off, and then finally a 5% move today in here. Maybe finally you heard what I wanted to say about it. And another one was ABBNY. What's ABBNY? It's one of the fastest charging that they were going to be building. ABB is an electrical engineering company. When I first came out from electrical engineering, and this is actually one of those companies that I wanted to join. And it's an OTC market. Oh, very nicely done on the 7th. And after that, sudah lari. You can see from here, you pull up tonight also up. I think up about 4% in here. So again, this is why the strategy is important, and don't be so fearful. Don't wait until the market run until year end only, then only say want to buy. February already check up already. I think a lot of us are really grappling with a lot of fear in here. So that's why it's important that you have some sort of a guidance out there that you can refer to, and do join our VSA 360 premium package in here. Will do help you a lot on these things that we talk about right now in here. Now, what has really triggered this big rally, actually what started was the resolution of the US debt ceiling, where Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy signed it. Of course, this week is a new thing, Donald Trump being arrested in here, but that's not going to affect much on the stock market, especially some people did say this is actually a good thing. But if you look in terms of the debt ceiling, it is very, very scary. It's even taller than me, right? The debts right now is 31.4 trillion, and it will continue to go up by the time I finish with the talk and we go past 2024 election, right? Those of you, I'll still be talking on this show in here, live FB, and that is going to be hitting 33 million in here. So I do hope that many of you who continue to follow me over the years, I will still be here talking about the debt ceilings in here, and the negotiation will come back again in 2025. All right. Now, also, what has also transpired after I made the talk about the new high and the bullish market in here. So I came up with this topic, after looking into the public media, and I find that many people are still not in the market yet. As I can see, a lot of people are still kind of hold back. I don't want to put my money. I'm so scared. I lost so much money last year, so I'm probably not going to do anything. But it's official. We are really in the bull market. This is from last week, as of June 8 in here, and people are still talking about, hey, isn't it the recession it has, right? And then depending a lot of this on your psychology that each and every one of us had in here. And right now, if you look at the CNN business on top here, it's 81, it's greed in here. So it's kind of important why you must have a strategy when you want to be buying on dips, okay? Right now, if you look in terms of the bull market, this is from the S&P 500 kind of research. After the bull market been declared, you have a fairly long period. All right, I'm going to ask the audience here. If you look from here, 252 trading days. How long is that in year? All right, 252 trading days. How long is that in year? Anybody? Okay, anyone want to tell me how long is the year? If this is what we're talking about. If we just mark the bull market last week as of June or October 20th, October 20th, 2022 was the lowest in the market that we see in here, and taking from then, October, we have something like 2 months now, 6 months. It's already been 8 months. This market been running up, but officially it's only about on June last week. Anybody want to try and tell me 252 trading days is how long in terms of a year? Anybody? Nobody. Come on, give it a try. All right. If not, I'm not going to tell you the answer too. All right. Go figure out yourself. All right. Yep. But if someone will attempt to answer it, I will give you the answers. Okay. So let's move on. So you can see from here, there are more bull market than bear market in the US side in here, right? So in here, you could definitely show you that the average return of the bull market is about 400% that we have in 2019, and that one actually stretches all the way to February 2020. Now, February 2020, like it or not, that bear market hit almost 46%. It's considered one of the smallest, the smallest in terms of period, the shortest period. We were only in a bear market for 4 months, and then next thing we have a bull market. But we also have a bear market last year, just before we get into the Russian-Ukraine war. Sometime it will hit the high of December. So you can see from here, this chart in here, they are very strong bull market. So let me give you an early head start that if you are in a bull market, you should get prepared much earlier. Don't wait until market is running and then many people do the kind of preparation in here. So if you look back, a good comparison in here, which I talked about just now, this was in the COVID. Remember when COVID struck in March or February 2020, that market actually fell a lot more. This is a weekly chart. And it was why one of the shortest bear market is due to the large interest rate cut. Okay, large interest rate cut that we see in here, and then once it started to cut off, the market actually filled with very cheap interest rate, and then as such the market started to bull run. And that's why I want to make a comparison on April 2020 and to the lowest, which was in October 2022, just that 2 years. And at the same time, there was a slowdown to pause interest rate. Remember, right? We have the fastest interest rate rise up to June, and then we have this pause in December. Not pause, a slower rate hike in December in here. So should the interest rate cut going forward, they're going to pause or even cut interest rate, then this market will probably see a very similar what we saw in 2020 after the COVID, right? And so right now we are in a nice move. As I said before, we are looking at something like 253 trading days of bull market going forward in here, and that's why any pullback will represent an opportunity to buy back. Now, of course, why the fear in the stock market? And many of us, how many of you are fearful? If you are fearful, just type fearful. All right. Those of you who are fearful, just type fearful in the comment section in here. I'd like to have a little bit of participation, if you don't mind, in here, right? How many of you are fearful, or how many of you are greedy, or if you're neutral, just type it in there. It'll be nice to see how the rest of our audience in here, or you're just sort of driving your car now and kind of listen to me in here. Let me know. I put it inside. So this Jeremy Siegel is someone of a stock market guru that I respect very well, and he said that just today, the stock market will end soon, and many of these old-fashioned like Jeremy Grattan, the Michael Burry is very quiet now. Remember, right? When the bear market was come, where the market was very high, the guy bising. Now he's very quiet. Why? Because the media don't want to cover them. Media found that they are wrong. Again, every day they will just be talking on their Twitter only, but the media will pick it up and then enlarge it in here. So all this is because of the phone that we have and the kind of buzzword that is used in here. So the Fed won't hike interest rate again, right? What he's predicting, which I do agree to in here. So going forward, just be careful who you listen to, the famous guru in here. Now let's talk about circular bull market. Now circular bull market is a longer term bull market, and if you look back in the S&P 500 over the years, thank you for your thumbs up in here, but when I come to asking a little bit of contribution from my audience, all very quiet one, right? All very shy one. But I do hope that some of you took some of the advice that I have, and if you do make money, give me a thumbs up. At least I do know that my message reached to you, because some of the things that I cover with my fellow students, my premium members, I've sort of make sure they all follow very nicely in here and have the best access information and tools to ensure that this good year, whatever money they lost last year, they can cover it up and make additional profit. Isn't that what all of us wanted in here, right? I'm sure that you're not here just to see my pretty face, but you want to know some of the sharing of information will pretty interesting. I like Nora, pretty greedy. That's good. I think that's good to go around playing with the expression. Now, what it simply says from Bloomberg is that we won't see a longer term bull market unless we have the recession to do the chuchi. So the question is, will there be a recession in 2023? Maybe they may be in the second half of 2023. If that comes in, and what is going to happen, they will cut interest rate. But right now, I do see the US job numbers, the US job numbers are very strong recently, and kind of put me in a position that we might not see the US recession. Although there is a slowdown, and due to the inverted yield curve, where the longer term interest rate is cutting down to the short-term interest rate, and that's why we see people are not willing to put money in the longer term, and that's why we have the inverted yield curve, which is one of the best predictor for the recession in here. So 3 criteria is very important for the circular bull market here, right? The circular bull market in here. So one of them is PE growth. We want to see valuation expansion. We want to see PE growth. Then we want to see earnings growth, okay? And we want to see falling interest rate. So if those three factors comes in nicely, then you're going to have a very lengthy time. I could even say that longer than 250 trading days in here. The one of the reason why I want to share this fact with you is that the sooner you do understand it, and that's where you put your money in it, and more likely you will see this market going forward. The best way to beat the market is not being ignorant, isn't it, right? And having the right tools to do. So let's look at a market ACC. So where is the US growth for the fourth quarter for 2023? This is from fact set, right? So you can see the fastest growth right now, definitely you can see, is the communication services, utility, consumer, and infotech and financials, right? So that is where you see at least 10 to 30%. And of course, energy is the one that is not, because energy, people are talking about moving to electric car, and that comes back again, right? Remember last year when we had the Ukraine-Russian war, the supply of oil was disrupted, and right now we could see also the Middle East are cutting oil because they felt that the energy oil price, well, which I will show you a chart too in here. But if you look in terms of where we were, the growth are coming to drive this bull market. So that's fact number one. You can see comparison to Q4 2023 to Q3 2023, you have a 8.2% growth again on the S&P 500. So that's simply proof that fact number one, we have this able to drive this circular bull market in here. We haven't seen the value expansion yet, so let's get to it. Okay, now next is the interest rate. Now this is the interest rate in here. We have the purple color is the Malaysian interest rate. Like it or not, these are the MGS. All right, now inflation was very stubbornly high last year. Right, at the this was in February this year. February and March, the inflation figures were still around 6%, 5% before it pops below 5%. So right now, later I'm going to show you a slide, and many of you may have followed this. The Bloomberg have shown that the interest rate had dropped to 4%. So this is a really good thing. So when interest rate has dropped, they will expect the interest rate to pause, and that's why you can see this market going higher. So this is a 2-year interest rate yield, and that's why it's more responsive compared to the 10-year. The 10-year is the blue line. As you can see for Malaysia, right? You will definitely ask that first question, why Malaysia is 3.8 but my BLR is that? Now remember, these are MGS bonds, okay? So they are quite different from the BLR bonds that we have. So right now, you will see also the falling inflation. Now yesterday we have a great report of the inflation which comes out every week, showing that United States inflation rate are 4%. Excuse me. So you can see from right here, market continue to fall all the way 4.9, 4. And right now 4. So this will make things as such that will give the US Fed no reason to raise interest rate, because every time when they raise interest rate, it makes things more expensive. But how the problem is, they want to pause that interest rate to make things that is affordable. Again, falling interest rate will assume coming from a falling inflation, right? That will likely happen to second half year, and that is going to likely to drive the bull market. So this is where we see the MGS bond was steady in here. So next one is we're going to be seeing the increase in terms of earning. Okay, one of the reason why we see increase in terms of earnings in here, a lot got to do with commodities. Now if you can see from this line here, overall we do see a falling commodity that allow inflation to be contained. All right, you can see this is the natural gas early on, where it is used a lot in the winter. Then the blue line here that you see, this is for oil, which does steady in here. But we also measure copper, right? Copper prices was steady and started to fall out here, and the demand of the growth has slowed down. Also, this is also caused by inflation. So what we are seeing that as copper prices coming down in here, of course eventually it's going to go back up again. That simply says you falling commodity prices do lower the cost of doing business in here. That allows the earnings to get widened, okay? The net margin get widened, and then drive up that stock market too here. So next thing, in terms of our Malaysian market in here, compared to Thai Baht, SGX, Japan and Malaysia, Malaysian Ringgit is the worst performer stock as it depreciated the most against the US dollar in here, 5% compared to Singapore, Thailand. So that's why, you know, I was just back last month from Phuket, a short holiday. I can feel how much our ringgit has depreciated, especially those of you who have listened to me early on a couple of years ago, started to invest in the US market and kept some of those investment there. I think you would thank me for that, for seeing that the ringgit appreciated, ringgit depreciate against the US dollar, giving you more value into your investment on the US side in here, right? But then again, I would probably assume many of you have already invested on the US side market in here. If not, remember I talk about fractional investing. Check out that live FB I've talked about in here, and I do hope that some of my advice here will help you, put you into a much better position in here. Now let's look at the overall market. All right, in the overall market, we can see, let me just move to this side here. You can see the yellow one, again, we all know Malaysia is down 7% year to date. This is SIT, which is the Thai index, down 5%. Jakarta is down 2% in here. Singapore is down 1%. This is the Dow Jones is up 3%. S&P 500 is up 13%. And Nasdaq, it's the technology one. That one has done very well. This is because due to the interest rate likely to pause, and that's why we can see this market go up. But sometimes people feel that this is overdone, and like Professor Jeremy Siegel, they said that this rally will stop and it's come down. But I want to present those facts to you. He's saying it. So right now we can see the technology stock outgrow value stock, outgrow everybody else in here. Now, if you look at all the sectors, now this is all the sectors. This is a chart in here. You have the XLK, which is in our VSA 360 there, telling you the 37%, which is a technology stock. XLC 34%. Now remember the early one, the earnings growth, right? We have communication, IT, utility. Those are the best growth in here, because of those are the best growth, and that's what driven this market higher in here. Energy is minus 6%. We know energy has didn't grow and actually depreciate about 24% in here. So all in all, the earnings drive the stock market in here. Now let's talk about valuation, the third criteria that will drive this bull market higher. All right, listen to the charts and the fact given, right? Then this is likely high. So you look at the S&P 500 during the bull market in September and in May, right? It was one of the highest. It hit maybe around averaging about 35 times PE, right? Then over time, we hit the low. Remember last year in October and December, that was around maybe below 20. That's the lowest PE, very cheap in here. And that's why we have the right now it's about 24 times. So you look all in all, S&P 500 has always traditionally been around the 26, 27. So there's a little bit more room. But if you do see the rally, now remember the rally started sometime in February 2020, February 2020, this is where we see. So we see the PE expansion, the valuation expansion, the PE expansion here. This is where you start to move around to 30, and you can see that 24 has a lot of room to move up again, driving up the bull market. So all this, he is presenting the case for the stock market is going now. Interest rate expected to fall to 3.1%. Now right now, as of May, is 4.0. So next week or next month, when you come back and listen me to it again, we would be talking about the interest rate. If should it go down to 3%, then that is what really driving this market further in here. So don't listen to the market prediction, right? If you've been, listen to some of these people, and I think I've showed you before, a lot of people is going to tell you the market's going to crash. But guess what? The market did go up. But of course, buying on pullback is the technique to be buying in here. And many times, all of us who just going to be hanging on to the stocks that we have, then you don't need to buy on dips. You can just buy in some of those stocks, but always ask yourself the kind of performance that you are getting in here, and would you like to see a bit more on that one? So don't miss the boat. Use the VSA 360 in here to find some other stocks. Now, one of the things that I've talked about buying on dips, as I said before, is using the NS strategy. This was a strategy that is always talked about by my senior trainer, Zach, on confirm no supply. It is part and parcel of a stage 2. As a share, like we said before, technology stock has been moving up 30%. As it goes up, there will be a period where it pulls down in here and then start to move up in here, right? And of course, for the Malaysian stock, you can also look at the insider buy, which is available on a VSA 360. If you have not check out our VSA 360 10-day free trial, all right, you will find it that this is something that will be very, very suitable and be helpful to you in here. Like, look at the VSA pattern too, and something that we teach in our self-learning course in here, and ensure that the NS that appeared is still on the green Pentagon in here, and then take profit when you have a selected profit target in here. Don't hold it for more than 8 weeks, because this is a very short term, and if the market doesn't turn into to your direction in here, you want to be exit in 2 months. So let's look at how to buy on dips with NS. Okay, definitely you want to follow me on the NS, so we'll be talking about some case study in here next. Then also get the NS candidate screener. All right, this is on our VSA 360. Know how the NS VSA set up, reward to risk, and then keep it short term. So those are the 4 things you need to know. So first one, this came out on the NS screener on the VSA 360. So you can see from here, June 1st, it did appear here. You can see this is where we talk about the pullback, right? The pullback NS, and then since pop up to 509, 480. That's a nice one in here. That happened on the 1st of June. I'm going to show you some NS which is happening right now for our Malaysian market. If you want to, give it a try next week and see how well you did here. Now, also on the 1st of June is the semiconductor ETF. Now, remember, right, we want to be focusing on those growth sectors. The growth sector, the technology sector, the XLK, the XLC, those are the one that we are targeting. You can see 1st of June, there was one NS here, but still in green Pentagon, right? And the market goes up. This is the VSA 360 that will be beneficial to you. So when you buy, you want to have some sort of pullback, then the market goes up in here. And also Microsoft came in. You can see Microsoft on 10th of May. That was still around maybe $310. Right now it's about 300, and I think now this was on 10th of May. So 10th of May was around. Let's check out how much is Microsoft now. Okay. Let's take a look at Microsoft MSFT. Microsoft now is 335. All right, 335 here. So this was coming in a bit earlier, around 320, just above 315, I suppose, from here onwards. Yeah, you can see it here, 312. That's why I put it here, 312. Now it's 330 in here, buying at the pullback. So when you buy at the pullback, that allows it in here. Now, case point is, we know that the stock market will have a nice bull run. Okay, on optimist side, we have another 200-day running, but we have to trade well and trade smart. Okay, now remember, some of the stocks I talked about on last week, 7th of June. If you came, we talked about this NVIDIA, we talked about Google, MSD, all has moved up 4-5% in here. So why those make sense? Because you're buying on a nice pullback. So ensure that you get the right NS setup in here before you buy those. And definitely you want to also follow Zach in here and follow some of my talks. And if not, join our 10-day free trial to find out more. Okay, then on the 10th of May on 2023, there was another one. You can see NS here, right? That was a nice one. Again, we select those very, very sector that has growth, right? The XLK, the technology sector. You can't just select all and guess. Even if you see NS, you select all and guess, also you mati one, because you are going against the overall market trend. Because why? All goes back to earning. Remember, I show you the earnings chart in here where there is a growth. That's where the stock's going to go up, right? So that's why, you know, it's important to get some sort of ground up earlier, and from then onwards you're able to see this market will play into your favor, right? Okay, so let me know if I'm doing a great job. Give me a thumbs up in here. So that's some of the things that I hope to push forward and ensure that you guys are all right with that. Okay. Now, then let's look at NS. This is from our famous NS screener in here. You also have the US side. So let me just show you where you are. This is the NS screener, and this is on the 12th of June. Probably tonight will be updated. Let's see, 14 is not yet ready. We can look at the 13. Just want to show you the 12th one first. On the 12th in here. So Make sure you get the NS screener, right? So on the 12, you can see top glove, right? We can choose the purple one, right? I'm not going to go into the details. I'm just going to quickly pick some of the stocks here, right? Not all trade works. So you can see JF Tech is a technology one. That was on the 12th. So we bring up JF 12. Where is my chart? Okay, so we bring up JF Tech, okay? JF Technology, and that was on the 12th. This was the NS, so it very nicely confirmed NS at 85 cents, now 85 cents in here. So that was a nice short pullback that we've seen. All right, that's what else we have here. We have Hatta Lega. All right, so this is a rubber glove. What do you think? Do you think rubber glove will have an opportunity in here? So rubber glove is not, you can see, right, it's not like that pullback that we see. We want to have a very short pullback, a very short one, and then the market turns back up, right? That is a buying on pullback. So this one doesn't work. So we are showing you the two different types of trade setup in here. The VSA trade setup. Don't just buy blindly. Any NS also cannot. The setup is important. Once you get a setup correctly, you will get into the right trade here. Now the next one on the chart. Okay, let me know which one do you want me to take a look at. CNGen or ECA. Type it in there. Okay, yep, Nora, JF Tech in there. Malfa, Travel, all this we don't want to touch. We only touch those technology ones. So what you want to do is go over to the NS screener, because we want to buy on a pullback, right, where the risk reward is much in favor. Then you can buy safely. I do believe some of the profit that you make from in here will be sufficient to cover your investment into learning about the NS and learning about these tools in here. Okay, Cool has a ECA. Good. All right, cool. So let's look at ECA. So you can see ECA very nicely done. You can see it goes up, nice kick in here, pull back in here, and let's see the coming days or weeks whether this is going to move up higher. Nice pullback, just like JF Tech. Good one in here. So that's why we have to be very selective on here. Don't have to pick everything in here. If it does, just like Hatta doesn't work. You can look at Malfa too. Malfa is a very low volume, right? 250 shares. OSK only 30 shares. 30 shares. So this one is pretty good. You see 35,000 in here. Top glove. And also you want to check out Inari, which is one of the favorite too. All right. If Inari got a NS in here somewhere, eventually it will come lah. But right now I don't see any NS. Those NS we have is only JF Tech and ECA. All right, so okay, we come to 14 minutes already, so I promise to keep very short in here. And don't forget, for our longer term members, we do have the Masterclass portfolio on the US stock. I've talked about this yesterday in the monthly orientation. Tesla, we got in on the 8th of May at $221 in here. Applied Magnetics, Hershey Chocolate, all right. We got Under Armour and we got Enphase. All of these are doing pretty well. Of course, the best one will be Tesla lah, which is one of the trade that work very well here. So let's put in Tesla. Okay, that was on the green Pentagon. Somewhere around here, yep, 8th of May here. That's right, when it just turned green Pentagon. So if you do from here to here, that's almost 51% in here. And were there any pullback on NS? No, but there were others like a test in here. And this was only a small lapse in their volume here. That was the only one that allowed to. Other than that, Tesla, jalan, right? Of course, some people say at this point, scary, it can still go up some more, as I said before, if the interest rate continue to go up. So many of you is asking, what about NS for technology in the US? Well, get the VSA 360 and you check it out yourself in here. Now, of course, my last point in from the slick chart is how much steam, how much power, how high can S&P 500 go? Now, if you look back in 2022, right, and 2018, every down year that we have, market come back very strong one. Last year, we are down 18%. And I talked about this in January and February. Okay, check out some of the live FB in here. Right now, it's 14.8. This was a slide that I showed on the January and February 20th. Now, bear in mind, I'm not right all the time. So this is one time where I was right because I spot on the interest rate movement in here. So if you look at it on the 14th of June right now, right, it is 14.8%. If you look back where we have a bad year, S&P 500 can go up by 31%. So still a lot more room to go. So it's always a good time for you to get in your new knowledge and the new tools. Remember, is this danger or is this opportunity? All right, I'll leave it up to you in here. So definitely for our beginner friend, you could use the S&P 500 in here to access the US stocks that we talk about in here, but more of them in the VSA 360. So for our summary in here, buying on dips using the very short NS strategy works very well if you're on the technology, EV and so forth. Some of those stocks in here, diversify to the US and stick to these stocks that I talk about in here that will ensure you having the right time, and learn VSA. For those of you who continue to follow me for many years already, would know how VSA work and give you time. More important, I think it's just about getting hand of the tools like the NS screener, buying on dips on the Bursa technology. Just like I shared with you before, that NS screener on the 12th, and of course every night there's a lot of opportunity for you to do that here. Okay, so that's from me. All right, and follow me again on Friday. You can come to this channel in here. Myself and Chef Saham will be talking about something very short term, trading a short term on the Malaysian share with intraday in here with Chef Saham. All right, so that's all I have for tonight. If you have any question, pencil those in here. Best Telegram chat room for all stock market information and also update that I normally do, right, will be in our Telegram. Thank you for your support, and I do believe Inari still got a lot more room to jalan. Don't worry so much about it here. GHL System Cool is asking, that is a technology. Let's take a look at GHL System Cool being one of our members. All right, and we rather see GHL System. Now GSL has NS, no doubt about it, right? But remember, even though you have NS in here, opportunity is good, but remember GHL is e-commerce. Now e-commerce, if you look at e-commerce, you look at Square, which is a US one, tak jalan one, I tell you, they're also same. Pretty much they were still around here. Square, right? They're coming off from a low. So here also got NS, you see, going up, but not as fast as the US. So that's why it's always good to look at the sectors, go to the big brother, look at the US side, and that will give you some bearings where likely you will go. I hope that will help you. Cool. All right. So thank you again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen in here. I'll be back on Friday for our breakfast show, and thank you for your support in here. Good night and God bless everybody. Selamat bermalam. I'll see you on Friday night, ya. Remember at 9 PM, pukul 9 kita jom bersama dengan Chef Saham, dengan Pentagon Guider dan Intraday Alert. Bye bye.